Hey there, my name is James, my pronouns are they, them, and today I'm going to be showcasing Super Mario Odyssey for speed stuff for trans lives. So to start off this run here, we kind of have to start off on the switch clock here to set the time to a very specific time. And I'll get into that more whenever it becomes relevant later. But for now, we're just going to start up this run. Right now, we have to start the game with a 5-second offset there, just so everything lines up properly. But yeah, the first thing you're going to notice about this game is I'm currently playing the game in Chinese. And that's just because it has the fewest characters out of any language in the game. There's actually a funny story behind that. The community thought for the first 3 years of this game that Japanese was the fastest language because they timed it kind of roughly, not very good. But someone did character counting and it turns out that Chinese saves 5 seconds or something over Japanese. So we got 5 free seconds of time save just by changing the language. But yeah, this first piece of tech here is a spin pound. I spin the control stick during that cutscene when Mario's waking up there. And then I just do the ground pound inputs to kind of build up a lot of speed really quickly. And as you can see here, I'm rolling by shaking the controller and holding the back trigger and Y. Or X, you could do either. And that's just because it's the fastest way to move throughout this game. Really easy to do. And it's kind of annoying shaking the controller throughout the whole run, but you kind of get used to it. A lot of people don't like motion controls, but I don't mind them that much. But yeah, this is the first tutorial stage in the game, Cap Kingdom. And we're going to come up and capture this frog here, which is the kind of mechanic of this game. Captures. As you can see with this frog, I can shake the controller to jump really high, or just press B to jump. But I'm going to do something called vectoring here, where I just jump in diagonal lines. It makes me just jump faster. That's all it does, really. And we're going to come up on the first trick of this run here, left side. Want to do a vault off Cappy there. Oh, I missed it. That sucks. You can see what I was aiming for, though, which is the important thing. Now, this is the first boss of the run, Topper. I'm just going to knock off his hats really quickly with a long jump there. Pop his hat, throw Cappy behind him, jump on him, and just like that, Topper's done in pretty much no time. And that is the first kingdom done. The first tutorial stage. But that was pretty quick. I will take that. But I should mention, pretty much all the bosses you're going to see throughout this run are the Brutals, which is those bunny guys there. That was the first one, Topper. And we're going to see kind of a few more. It's kind of optimal for me to skip most of them, though. So I'm going to try to do a lot of fancy tricks that are pretty hard. To skip as many of them as I can. But there are a few required boss fights throughout this run, and that's one of them. And we're going to see another required boss fight coming up here, too. But before that, we're going to see the second capture of the run. The Chain Chomp. We're going to come up here. Capture this guy. Fling him back into this rock. And then just reveal this moon here. And this is the first out of 124 moons we're going to get in the game. And if you look whenever Mario finishes this his little dance here, the moon's going to go in the top left there. And you can see I need 4 more on top of that one for 5 total. And that's just to leave the kingdom. There's a minimum amount per kingdom you need. And for this kingdom, it's a requirement of 5. So it's the boss fight up here is going to give us a multi-moon, which is 3. So we need 2 more on top of that. But coming up on the second trick of this run, down to skip, I'm going to come over here, capture the dino, run him over a trampoline to get a lot of height, and just dive into the boss fight here. So let's do that. Triple jump up to this T-Rex here. This dinosaur. Ram him against this wall so I can get the proper footing, because you need to hit it with your left foot. Hit the trampoline with the left foot. Get all the height, uncapture, and just dive into this boss right here. And this is the second boss of the run, Madame Brutal. Main way you kill her is just flinging the chomp into her face. I'm going to do a fast right here where I throw Cappy, jump, and then I backflip at the perfect time to knock off the hat instantly, and then capture it instantly as well. And that's just to skip the part of the fight where typically she throws the chain chomp, and then you have to kind of roam around the arena a bunch. But we can kind of skip that just by throwing the chomp into her face there. And as I said earlier, this is a multi-main. You get these for beating all the bosses in the game, pretty much. Not all the bosses give 3, but A majority do, and this is one case where you get 3 for one boss fight. And there actually is a way to skip Madame Brutal, but it's really slow and requires 2-player mode. So we can't do it here. But it is used in a speedrun category called Min Captures. But, yeah, just a little fun fact there. I'm going to do a trick here called Chest Clip. Right below me, like literally directly below me, is a chest. And we're going to try to use the moon to clip through the ceiling here. So let's see if I can nail it. I'm going to quickly jump down to this chest. Jump on top of it. Throw Cappy to open it. Backflip and throw Cappy. And that should work. That should clip me through the ceiling. And it did. Just like that. And what I just did there is called a moon clip. If you... or Mario's position kind of gets skewed whenever he collects a moon. And if you throw Cappy right before you collect a moon, it gets even more skewed. And Mario gets like pushed upwards. So I do a backflip to get Mario high up into the moon, and then I do a cap throw right at the perfect time to excuse Mario's position really high, so he's out of bounds after the moon animation ends. And then that lets me just clip to the ceiling there. Now, before the run, you saw me set the clock to 1:53 a.m. on March the 14th, 2021. And that is because I'm going to be doing a trick called Daylight Savings Time Abuse. There's a seed here we're going to plant in Sand Kingdom. It usually takes 20 real-time minutes to grow. But I'm going to kind of skip that by planting the seed and then entering a pipe. And then whenever I exit the pipe, the clock's going to tick over to 3 a.m. because it's going to skip 2 a.m. because it's daylight savings and 2 a.m. doesn't exist on that day. And because it skips 2 a.m. and it jumps forward 1 hour, the game thinks 20 real-time minutes have passed and makes the seed instantly grow, making it one of the quickest moons in the game to grab here. So you're going to see that in action right here. We're going to roll over to the seed as fast as I can. And plant it. Plant in this middle pot here. Grab this one quick moon here. And we're going to grab a bird. Really quick moon here. Quick bird. Going to quickly enter this pipe right here. Grab a third quick moon, and right now, Daylight Savings should have just ticked over. So I'm going to leave the room. The seed will be instantly grown, so I can dive over this way. Whoop, bonk. Not a big deal. The bonk lined me up nicely. And you can see that seed was instantly grown there. And now we're going to enter the backside of the shop and steal a moon from these guys. Don't tell them. They'd be really upset if they know I just stole this moon right here. Look at them, completely oblivious to the fact that Mario's right here stealing a moon. Yeah, we're just going to be getting a ton of quick moons in Sand Kingdom. As you can see, I need 16, which is quite a few moons for one kingdom. So we're just going to be going all throughout the kingdom, pretty much traversing the entire thing, and just grabbing the quickest moons in the kingdom. A lot of them are just going to be me ground pounding stuff, because those ground pound moons tend to be really quick, because it's... If you don't know, ground pounds don't take long to execute in pretty much any Mario game. But yeah, another trick right here. Dram strategy. We're going to go over here. Triple jump on top of this little railing here. Backflip. And then I'm going to long jump. Throw Cappy upwards using motion controls. Dive twice into this moon and then shake Cappy to home into the bill up there. And it should teleport me just like that. Nice and easy. And we'll see that technique used a lot, that Dram technique. It's actually named after a speedrunner named Dram55, I believe are the numbers in their name. And Dram was very insistent on not having any tricks. Come on. Can I still make this work? I messed up capturing this guy a lot. I wasn't able to use that other build because it would have ran out too quick if you're curious. That other build just got way in my way right there. But back to Dram. He was very insistent on not having any tricks named after him in this game. And so, the community dubbed that trick Dram Strat. And all the other techniques that require happy teleportation like that. Another easy trick coming up here. This trick is probably one of the easiest tricks in the game. I guarantee you if you boot up this game right now, you could probably nail this trick with like maybe 10 minutes of practice. As long as you know how to ball jump and dive with Mario. Gonna ram this bill into this wall here. And then dive up here to get this quick Jaxie moon here. That is Jaxie skip right there. And yeah, easy trick. That trick's another trick that's been in the run since like 2017. Gonna quickly capture this nipple cactus here. As you can see, there's a nipple on his head. That little question mark thing right at the bottom of the screen there. There's so there's some things, very few things. Like there's a tree in Deep Woods and a rock in Deep Woods as well in Wooded Kingdom that have that little question mark thing on its head. That just signifies that you can capture it. That's all it does. But I like to call it the nipple cactus as a joke. Okay, gonna quickly get up to the Snoats Moon. I'm gonna do a spin throw. I've been doing these throughout the whole run, but I guess I can explain them now. If you just shake the controller in a sideways motion, you'll get a spinning cap throw. And it's a really quick cap throw. It comes out quicker than a regular cap throw, and it goes in a circle, so we can use it to grab those moons really quickly there. And it reaches really far, so you see me use it a lot to capture stuff. But just like that, Sand Kingdom done in less than 11 minutes there. Or at least Cap Cascadia and Sand, I guess. Up through Sand done in less than 11 minutes. Okay, this next Kingdom Lake is a pretty scary one. There's a trick in it that I'm not too great at, but I'll attempt it anyway. Just to show it off here, lake clip. I'm going to try to clip Mario out of bounds to get 2 really quick moons and skip the Rango boss right here. So we'll see if I can nail it once we get there. We have to go through a bunch of cutscenes here. This kind of part in between kingdoms is kind of annoying where Cappy just talks to you. He's trying to tell me that Bowser's trying to steal the dress in this kingdom and that I can do like specific inputs to do a ground pound jump or something. It's just to teach beginners like the tech in the game and how do you do it, but I already know how to do it all because I've been speedrunning for 4 years. Very fast. That's not tech. That's called a bonk. That's something that you want to try to avoid, but it's okay. I just lost 2 seconds there right at the start because my angle was very slightly off, and I ran face first into the Odyssey. Okay, right through those Goombas. Gonna capture this zipper here and unzip this area. I'm gonna grab this moon here. Oh, that was a little bit scary. I almost rolled Mario right off the edge there. Cutting it close. I'm gonna put Mario into this corner here, tilt the camera down so I can set it up properly. Throw Cappy through the wall. And then clip Mario out of bounds here. Oh, that's really bad. Cappy didn't grab the checkpoint. Mario stalled on the wall really weirdly there. So Cappy didn't grab the checkpoint. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of an awkward backup here and warp all the way back to the Odyssey, I think. Typically, if you up throw with Cappy and then home in, he'll reach that checkpoint, but he was like pixels away from that there. Not something I typically mess up, but I can make this work. What do I want to do here? I'm gonna be 1 moon short. I'm gonna need to get a backup moon somewhere. I'm trying to think what my fastest backup moon would be. I think my best bet is just going to the Rango boss fight right now. So I tried to do Lake Clip there. It didn't work. The whole point of Lake Clip is to skip this boss fight right here, but I wasn't able to do it successfully. I came really close. I got the clip first try, which is the hardest part, but I think what happened is I like dropped an input when I was trying to do the capstone on the wall there, and it kind of made everything fail, unfortunately, but that's okay. It was a good backup on the fly, I'd say. I had to really think about how to route that, because I've never had that happen before. I know speedrunners say that all the time, but in an 80% speedrun at least, I've never had Cappy fail me like that, but that's kind of the nature of the game. Sometimes Cappy isn't the best. He's kind of a traitor in a lot of cases, but you gotta make do. Okay, we're gonna leave the kingdom and go to Wooded here. What is arguably the hardest kingdom in the run? Because of a little trick that's called Nut Clip. It uses the moon clip that I showcased in Cascade. It uses that tech to clip out of bounds to get 2 really quick moons so we can end up skipping the spirit boss fight. We'll see if I can nail it. If I don't nail it, then I could also just do a backup intermediate route, which saves about 20 seconds over the old 2017 route. But Nut Clip saves about 30 seconds over the 2017 route, so if I could nail it, that'd be huge. It's really hard, though, so we'll see if I can nail everything. I'm definitely going to have to focus up whenever I get there. But, Before we get there, we're going to get some quick moons using some fancy Mario movement here. Just going to do a spin pound so I can get a lot of speed. Grab this rock. Ram it into the bunny here just to stun him. And then while that moon's spawning, I'm going to come over here and grab this rock moon. Because whenever a moon first appears on screen, it has to go through a spawning phase for about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds or so, I'd say. Oh, not close enough to the shop guy. And so while that's spawning, I had to go grab the rock moon. I guess I could also mention this. What I just failed there when I was talking to the shop was I tried to go into first person before talking to the shop guy. And that's just because the camera has to pan into Mario before you're able to talk to stuff. So if I just do a first person and then like enter first person then leave it right before talking to all the NPCs, it kind of skips that camera pan and saves like 1 second. Or 0.5 second or so. Okay, I didn't get the out of bounds whip there. It's really hard. I'm not great at it. This is definitely the technique I'm worst at in this game. Or the trick I'm worst at in this game. Is that min clip. But I guess I can showcase the intermediate route. This is the route you would do if you failed nut clip. Or if you're just not comfortable enough with nut clip, you'll come over here and grab this moon. There's an easier route as well. I'm going to do some weird movement here coming up that I wouldn't recommend to someone that just learned the game. But if you've been running for like maybe a couple months and you're comfortable with Mario's movement, I would definitely recommend picking up this route. I'm going to land on an invisible part on this wall here. Ah, Mario didn't cap bounce. Okay, I'm going to land on that invisible part of the wall again. Wall jump up this way. Use some speed kicks to jump up this wall here. Just like that. Typically, you're supposed to use rocket flowers to jump up that wall, which spawn in after you beat the spirit boss, but not today. Just gonna use more of your speed to quickly jump up that wall, just like that. A lot of the moons you're gonna see me grab throughout this kingdom are just these nuts, because they're really, really fast, so you're just gonna see me go really fast and just bust open like 20 nuts throughout this kingdom. A whole bunch. Okay, we're gonna come down here, do a little fancy movement here to quickly get out of the maze. I just like doing that because it looks cool. It probably saves like 0.5 second, but it looks really cool, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. I dropped an input there. One thing that this game is notorious for is dropping input. I tried to do a cap throw dive to get on top of that nut there, just to be safe and make sure I had the distance. But what happens is, a lot of times... Really? I didn't have the distance there, my bad. A lot of times whenever Mario... Or a lot of times whenever Cappy interacts with something, so Cappy hit that nut whenever I tried to do the cap throw dive and broke it a little bit. And because Cappy hit the nut, it lagged the game just a little bit, just enough to drop my dive input and delay it by like 0.5 second or so. And that was enough for me to fall too low to land on top of the nut. But a little fancy trick here, Flower Road skip. That P-switch spawns the Flower Road, which I'm going to skip because it's slow. I saved like 2 seconds by doing that. It looks like it saves a lot more than it does for sure. But we're going to be skipping pretty much all the Flower Roads in this kingdom because they're not fun. Skipping another one right there that you saw. That P-switch was another Flower Road. All the P-switches here are Flower Roads. You can see I'm skipping pretty much all of them in this kingdom. Gonna capture that guy really fast. Typically, you need 2 cap throws to capture that guy, but if I do a spinning cap throw there, I can wrap Cappy around him really nicely and capture him really quickly with only 1 cap throw. Come on, uproot. Oh, I'm kind of struggling here a little bit. There we go. Now I'm gonna do a trick called Spiritless here. Spiritless Wooded. Typically, I'm going to fight Spirit, but I'll save 5 seconds if I just go out of my way and vector Mario down this way. And then what I was doing there was I was mashing the jump button so I didn't get the little stun animation. Because that would lose me time. So we're going to grab this nut. Come down this way. Gonna enter this pipeway. I'm gonna do some specific movement to kind of get through it really quickly and dodge all the fuzzies. All the movement I'm doing here on the water, and in, honestly the entire pipeway is very specific so I don't take damage to any of these fuzzies. Okay. There's a faster strat I could have gone for, yeah, but I kind of messed up the movement just barely. I'm not great at doing the fast strat in this pipeway, but that was clean enough for me. I will not complain. I probably like broke even to doing Spirit. Didn't save a whole lot, but didn't lose a whole lot. What happened right there, whenever I opened that map, was Cappy gave me a text box saying that, hey, if you click on that checkpoint in the map, you can warp. Typically, I'm supposed to get that in Lake Kingdom whenever I do the late clip, but I didn't. I honestly failed the late clip, so I got it here instead. If you're using splits, that'd be kind of bad for getting it here instead, like, because it would mess up a lot of your golds. But since I'm just using a basic timer, I don't have to worry about it. Okay, on to Cloud Kingdom. If you saw on the top left there, it was a picture of Metro Kingdom, and that's because the game's trying to trick you, like saying, hey, you go to Metro next. But nope, we're going to have a run-in with Bowser here. The screen's going to shake, I think, here in a second. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, that's in a later part of the run. My bad. But Mario's going to look out the window with Cappy here because... oh, no, he sees Bowser. Whatever will he do? We have to fight Bowser now in this kingdom called the Cloud Kingdom. I'm going to try to not die. Okay, thank you. I didn't have as much speed as I thought I would there. Now I'm going to kill Bowser really fast here using a technique called Fast Hats. Going to get up in Bowser's face and do a jumping cap throw there to grab the hat really quickly instead of having to wait for him to throw it at me. We're going to do another one here, but instead of using a jump, we're going to use a backflip and a cap throw. And I'm kind of walking over this way before I punch Bowser, because I can kind of manipulate Bowser so he lands on specific circles on the arena here. So he jumps the least amount of circles. I failed it right there, but I got it the first phase. So this guy got to showcase it a little bit. And that's Cloud Kingdom done really quickly. And now we're coming up on the Lost Kingdom. We have to get through 2 kingdoms here before we get to everyone's favorite kingdom, Metro. That was the kingdom that was definitely the most hyped up in the reveal trailers. And that's why Nintendo's kind of teasing us here, because it's like, oh, we showcased this kingdom the most during the reveal. You definitely want to get to it. Keep playing. But the Odyssey crashed and burned because Bowser threw some bombs at it, and we crashed landed and lost. And we're going to do a trick here right off the gate called Beam Tree. I'm going to jump on this tree and then jump up this way. And the reason I do this is because typically if you go to the bridge, you're going to run into a bird called Klepto, and he's going to steal Cappy, and then you have to go through this whole quest to get Cappy back, which takes about a minute. So I'm just going to try to avoid Klepto's trigger hitbox here by going around the kingdom in a very specific manner. Spin pound, please, Mario. So I'm going to go this way. I'm going to long jump over here. And Klepto is right to the right there. He's kind of off screen, but you're going to see him in a second. Oh, I tried to get a Capricorn jump there. Didn't really work. Okay, we're going to trigger Klepto here. And by doing what I just did right there, just running on Klepto's platform, you put Klepto in a state where he can no longer grab Cappy. In this area I'm in right now, if you were to go to it immediately, you would trigger the Klepto cutscene and you would have to go through the Cappy quest. But by doing it in the order I did and then running over the Klepto platform, just like that, Klepto no longer grabs Cappy. And I'm free to traverse the entire kingdom if I wanted to right now. But obviously I'm not going to do that because there's no reason to. Just going to get the quickest moons that I need and then move on. We're going to do a cool trick here to try to stay alive here. I'm going to grab this moon under the bridge, which you're typically supposed to use a Wiggler for. But I'm just going to quickly grab it just like this. And then you're going to see I'm going to try to stay alive here. Just like that. Use Cappy to cap bounce back up after that moon. And just like that, we're done with Lost. That was super clean. No real mistakes anywhere, I don't think. And now we're going to go on to Metro finally. But, spoiler alert, hold up. There's going to be a boss that's terrorizing the kingdom, the Mecha Wiggler. And we're going to try our best to kill him here and get rid of him. And by try our best, I mean, it's easy. Forehead. We're just going to do it. So as you can see, Metro is in a night fashion. Night Metro is what we call it. And there's a boss right there that you just saw. Right there, Cappy's zooming in on him there, or the camera is. And we have to go kill him, but before that, we have to get to him. So we're gonna jump over this way. Do some fancy movement just to quickly get throughout the kingdom. Now, the game wants you to go to the right over there. To get through, like, the main part of the kingdom to get to the Mecha Wiggler. That's the intended path. But we're just gonna jump up this wall here. Gain a ton of height with Mario just by using Cappy. And that awning there to get a lot of height. Use it as a trampoline. Like we did in Cascade. And then skip all of that and get some moons on our path here. I'm going to do something that looks a little funny here. I'm going to roll off this railing and then I'm just going to pop this Goomba on the head. Just like that, just to get enough height to barely make it up to that platform there. Now we're in the Night Metro Tower portion. We have to climb this tower to get to the top of the skyscraper here. This tower is completely cycle-based, so as you see there, I did some movement so I could get on the earliest elevator cycle and make it up to this pole. And hey, look, there's a moon right here. What a surprise! There's a moon right in our path. It's almost like that's happened like 100 times already this run. We're gonna do a blind jump over this gap here, just to quickly get across the tower here. The camera, the reason that's a blind jump is because you can't really change the camera. The camera fights you the entire time. So you kind of have to know where everything is to do it blindly. And now we're going to start the Mecha Wiggler boss fight. I'm going to roll over here, quickly capture a tank. I'm going to hit these eyes in a very specific way to make it so it uses the least amount of shots possible. Using 3 shots for that first phase, just to quickly knock out the Wiggler. And I'm going to go into some specific corners here just to manip the Wiggler to go the shortest amount of distance. As you see, like, the Wiggler's not going across the entire arena like it normally would casually. He's just going right into the nearest wall and saving me a couple seconds. Now, my goal here is to kill this Wiggler in 2 phases. That first phase, remember I first started the fight, was 1. This is going to be the second phase right here. I want to knock out all his eyes on the second phase. So I'm going to shoot like 2 or 3 fireballs here, and then hopefully I can knock out this Wiggler. Hopefully I can knock out all the eyes without issue. It's looking like I should be able to. Okay, not the absolute fastest in the world, but pretty fast. Oh, okay, this is a glitch that happens here. Right there, that's a... I'm actually kind of happy that happened so I could showcase that. That's a prime example of the hitboxes in this video game being complete garbo. As you see, I landed like 5 fireballs on there, or cannonballs, my bad. Tank shots, whatever you want to call them. And nothing happened. The game was just like, you're shooting me? But that's a Night Metro, and now we get to go to everyone's favorite kingdom, Day Metro. You're not an Odyssey fan if you don't like this kingdom. Okay, that's not true. I'm just joking. But this is a fun kingdom. There's a lot of really hard platforming here that we do to climb a lot of these big towers, so it looks really cool. Especially if you're like new to Odyssey and you're just watching a speedrun for the first time. But remember how we did that dram strategy? We're going to do another one right here where we leave Cappy behind. I said we're going to do another one where we leave Cappy behind. And then we're going to shake the controller after Mario gets to the moon to home into that wire there. I kind of started a little bit there. I tried to do it right out the gate, but Mario got stuck on the little entrance to that moon there. Now, there is a quicker way to get this moon than other than capturing this RC car guy. There's a scooter clip you can do, but this is not a trick I'm good at. It's probably one of the only tricks in the game I don't know how to do. So I'm just opting out of it. And you know how we just did a dram strategy? We're going to do another one. I'm going to leave Cappy up there, make sure the camera's on Cappy, and then shake to home into the wire. For some reason, for that specific dram strategy, the camera has to be on Cappy. Cappy has to be on screen, otherwise it won't home in. It's really weird. That's like the only one in the game where that happens, but whatever. Just gotta make do. Gotta change the setup a little bit. Okay, we're gonna go over here, break these crates open. Roll over to this moon. And then we're gonna go to roll to Pauline from here. Oh, I dove a little bit early there. Bonked. No big deal. It's not 2-second time loss, who cares? Not a big deal. And we're gonna get some quick musicians here. Oh, my bad. Too far away. Now, there is a route where we don't get any musicians here, but I'm not great at it. It requires you to do the bullet building sub-area, which is really hard to do fast. I'm not great at it. It's definitely one of the hardest sub-areas in the game to do fast, so I'm just grabbing the musicians because they're easy, and it only saves like 5 seconds or something to do the bullet building route. It also requires you to do slots, which isn't the hardest thing in the world, but you have to do it with a spin throw to save time, and it's really hard. So I'm just opting out. Okay, we're gonna warp up here to that checkpoint right there. You probably didn't even see me open the map. This checkpoint is really conveniently placed, so we could just warp up immediately after talking to that musician. Oh, I got a rainbow spin instead of a jump, so I wasn't able to do the fancy triple. But that's okay. Gonna roll off there, dive into this moon. Ah, really? That's not good, okay. I can at least showcase a fancy backup right here that I know of. Let's see if I can nail it. Look at that fancy backup. Game knowledge. You can land on that little grate right there just barely. And then make it up there. Not a big time loss. That's fine. There's a much worse mistakes to make. I'm going to spin pound and roll off the top of that there just to get down to this moon a little bit quicker. Now I'm going to grab a Luigi coin hint art right here. Ground pounding one of those gives you 200 coins. And the way I know where that is... Ooh, bullseye. Just like that. Easy peasy. But the way I know where that Luigi coin hint art is... Oh, I didn't land on the railing. Okay, cool. The way I know where that Luigi coin hint art is, if I can get my sentence out... The game's distracting me. Is because Nintendo put out, like, hints on Twitter whenever they were first released. This was in version 1.2 of the game. Nintendo was releasing a bunch of those coin hint arts throughout a bunch of the kingdoms in the game. Just to, kind of, I don't know, get more people to play it or something. And they would release the hints on Twitter as, like, a kind of a hint art picture similar to the moon hint arts in this game. But instead of getting a moon, you get 200 coins. So that's how I know where that is. And that's actually not why I just know where it is off seeing people run this game, but that's how you're supposed to know where everything is for those. And that's Metro Kingdom, nice and easy. So just looking at my timer here, we're about at the halfway point of the run, and I could say this is pretty confident 105 to 106 pace, depending on how I play the second half, the back half of this run. So we'll see. I'm definitely better at the first half, but we'll see what happens. If you want to know my personal best, it's a 104.48, so I'm probably going to be about 1 to 2 minutes off that this run, which, honestly, for a no reset setting, isn't too shabby. I will definitely take that. Especially since I don't run this category super actively anymore. I used to take this category a lot, pretty seriously back in the day, but I'm pretty happy with where my time is right now, so I don't really see a need to improve currently. But this is the Snow Kingdom. As you can see, it's in a blizzard, and you're supposed to... Really? Dang, okay, I thought I had enough... Oh, Mario! No! You're gonna have brain damage. Okay, no big deal. My bad. Bonked Mario's head into that wall twice there. Oh, talk to me, Toad. I didn't mean to hit you with Cappy. And a rough start to this kingdom, but that's okay. But typically, you're gonna, the game wants you to get through a bunch of rooms to clear the blizzard and kind of get peace. But we're just gonna go, we're gonna go through some of them. Now, the rough thing about this kingdom is there's not a lot of very fast moons. A lot of the moons we're gonna grab here are story moons, which unfortunately have like a long cutscene associated with them. But it's kind of what we're forced to do. There's very few moons here at the start. I think there's like 15 available moons before you get peace for the kingdom, which is just killing the boss for the kingdom. Which in this kingdom would be Rango. But I'm just going to try my best and get the quickest moons I can. As you can see, the start of this kingdom is pretty quick. There's like not very few slow moons. I'm going to try to do another one of those moon clips I was talking about right here. This one doesn't save very much. It only saves like 2 seconds. I didn't nail it. That's fine. I was slightly off on the capture timing. But all it does is instead of me coming down like this, you can clip out of bounds and go to this store more directly. This room right here is on a cycle, so I'm going to do specific movement to try to hopefully make the cycle. I'm going to spin pad at a specific time there to get a huge push of wind from that blowy Joey there. I think they're called Typhoons in the regular game. That's what the game calls them, but the community dubbed them blowy Joeys. So that's what they're called in my heart. Oh, you're supposed to die. Are you kidding me? I thought that guy was going to die. He was like on by like one toe. And this is the slow cutscene I was talking about. Unfortunately, with a lot of these moons, you have to deal with some of these cutscenes. And that's just how it be for this kingdom. Not very many quick moons, but we make the best of a crappy situation. Okay, we're going to go over into this room right here and capture some Goombas and stack them up. I think this is the first and only time we do it in this category, but there's a lot of Goomba... I took damage. That's not fun. But there's a lot of these Goomba stacking moons spread throughout the game. I missed that one. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, no, that's a big time loss. That's rough. So, I guess I could say this now. If one of those Goombas dies like it did right there... That's fine, took damage again. It does not respawn. That's one thing that I think is a design flaw with this game. It shouldn't be stuck in a situation where it's impossible to get a moon unless you die. That's why I died there. Because if one of those Goombas jumps to his death like it did right there, commits a Goomba suicide, we'll call it, then it's dead. It's gone for good. Just like the real world, Sag. I tried to do a triple jump there, but my jumps didn't string together right. This is a pretty rough Snow Kingdom, I'll be honest with you. Not the greatest in the world. A lot of stuff didn't go my way. It's pretty rare that that Goomba jumps to its death like it did there. I think that's literally the first time I've seen that on my own runs. But I've heard of people having that issue before. And the funny thing is, if I just nailed the jump onto him originally, it wouldn't have even been an issue. So I guess you could say that's my fault, maybe, but whatever. Okay, we're going to buy this moon, and then we're going to do a trick called Snow Jam here. It's not a Cappy Warp like I said they are earlier. The only reason it's called Snow Jam is because Jam 55 did not want tricks named after him, and so the community called this Snow Jam just to poke fun at him. It's a really hard trick and requires a lot of specific movements, so I'm probably going to be quiet here while I try to nail it. I'm going to quickly get on top of the Odyssey here. Going to go into first person to set up Mario. Okay, that wasn't great. What happened there is Cappy was too far off the edge, so I didn't get the bounce. Oh, it happened again. Come on, dude. Cappy's being mean to me. Okay, my setup is bad. I'm going to redo this setup real quick. Not nailing this very fast, but it happens. There we go. Oh, I'm going to be too low. Oh, no! That's my least favorite. I guess it's fun that I get to showcase that, at least. If you're just barely too low there... Mario does a ledge clip and clips through that right there. What happens is, if Mario is really close to a ledge... Come on, Cappy. Please cooperate. Oh, I dropped an input that time. That's not fun. This chick is being mean to me right now. Losing me a lot of time. Come on. Unfortunately, the worst part about this trick is there's not really a backup. So if you commit to going for it... Ah, I barely missed it again, dude. If you commit to going for it, there's not really a backup other than just keep trying it over and over. This trick's being mean. I'm gonna do the slow setup here with the camera. That didn't even work, so whatever. That should work. Okay. That took me longer than I wanted. It happens. It's a hard trick. I guess you get to see how hard it is because of that now. Whatever. Yeah, hard trick. You have to do a lot of things very specifically in the air there. Just to get barely enough distance to make it to that island there. If I nail that first try, I could save like 10 seconds, but I just lost like a minute and a half there. Probably lost like 2 minutes in that snow. Not great. It happens, though. It's a no reset. I'm not upset about it. I'm happy I'm getting to show off as much as I am, though. I'm nailing a good bit of stuff that I want to nail. My movement's pretty good today. I'd say that, at least. Okay, on to the Seaside Kingdom. Just gonna shove off that snow. Gonna get some quick moons here before we go into the water and traverse most of this kingdom as a fish. Oh, dropped to let input a little bit there. Okay, gonna get that quick moon to start off the kingdom just like that. And I'm gonna roll this way. And enter this pipe for another quick moon. This is just like the Sand Kingdom moon where the snail wants you to ground pound in a specific spot to get a moon. Luckily, I have both memorized, so real easy. Just grab the moon just like that and then leave. Those are probably the 2 quickest moons you'll see in the run. It's just those ground pound moons. Gonna make it up here. Typically, this game wants you to get this moon with one of the captors, the Gushin. But, guess what? Those are slow, so we're not gonna use them. No, I bunked! Whatever will I do? Okay, we're gonna roll over this way and then do a fancy triple jump to get a lot of distance so I can capture this fish. I said capture this fish. And then we're gonna swim over this way to grab another quick moon in the chest. Now, there is a way to clip out of bounds using this chest, but I have yet to learn it. It's a newer trick, and it's pretty precise, so I just haven't bothered learning it yet. But, yeah, we're going to still clip out of bounds. Don't worry, you're still going to get some fun out of bounds shenanigans in this kingdom. We're going to swim over this way, grab some coins, and then grab this quick moon. And this out of bounds clip is coming up here pretty quickly. 2 more moons, and it's called Fish Clip. We're going to uncapture the fish, throw Cappy back at him, and then to capture him again just to clip the fish out of bounds here, you'll see. I guess I could mention I'm pressing Y and B here. You can also press X and A, if you're lame, to boost with this fish here. And I'm just constantly pressing it every time I turn with the fish to get the fish back up to top speed. That's all it does, it just maintains top speed. It doesn't give you any additional speed, I don't think, it just maintains top. Because every time you turn with the fish, you lose speed. So we're going to uncapture, throw Cappy, capture again, and then boom, clip out of bounds just like that. And the reason we have to do that is because there's actually an invisible wall that typically pushes Mario back. Because in this game, instead of having like actual visible walls to chase the kingdoms, the game has invisible walls that push Mario backwards to keep him in bounds. But if you uncapture the fish just like that, you can clip past the invisible wall, get 2 quick moons right here. Now we're going to make it to Luncheon, which is another one of the arguably hardest kingdoms. Probably Wooded and Luncheon are the 2 hardest in this run. I'd say Bowser's Kingdom is up there too, so the last little bit of this run is pretty brutally tough. And I'm going to try to nail as much stuff as I can here. Now, I am not going to be doing the most optimal route because it is very difficult. Very brutally difficult to do the most optimal route, but the most optimal route is called Spiritless Luncheon. It requires a lot of very precise jumps that I think like only 3 or 4 people that run this game total go for, maybe. There might be more, but you pretty much need like a sub-hour time to even save time with it, and I'm nowhere near that, so I'm not going to bother with it. I'm going to fight the Spirit Boss fight and lose at like 10 seconds. But yeah, first trick here, Salt Triple. I'm going to triple jump off the salt pile here right at the start to get enough height to make it up to the first moon. Hopefully I don't fail it. It's pretty precise on height, and I didn't get the triple jump. Okay, I got the triple jump that time. Can I not bonk? Perfect. Okay. Not that much time loss. Probably still save time with it. I'm going to dive twice there because my angle was off. Gonna roll right past this tomato. Just to grab this quick moon right here. And typically this is where you would do the Spiritless trick right after this moon. But I'm not going to do it because it is hard and not fun. I'm just going to fight the Spirit Boss instead. This is another one of those bunnies I was talking about that we were trying to skip throughout this game. Just going to grab some coins for no real reason. Just to kind of kill downtime during this boss. Okay, and just like that, Spirit's dead, and we're gonna continue on with the kingdom. A lot of the movement in this kingdom is kind of weird looking. We take advantage a lot of the weird geometry all throughout this kingdom to kind of climb this kingdom at our will and save time. Okay, we're gonna go into this room. We're gonna quickly get around this corner here to grab a quick moon. Then we're gonna exit just like that. And like I said, we're gonna take advantage of this. I said take advantage of this geometry. Oh, am I dead? That's not fun. Oh, I messed that up. We're gonna nail it this time. Don't worry. Small hiccup. Small hiccup on our plane here. It's a quick death. It doesn't leave me very much. Okay, I am messing up this move. I'm trying to land right there. Could take advantage of the geometry like I was saying earlier. But, kind of had a little... Mario! Can you please cooperate? Oh my god. Mario is not wanting to cooperate this lunch. I've never had this many issues. Well, it's fine. But yeah, you're taking advantage of the geometry. Did you see that roll? That was insane. I got like 8 feet of height off that roll. Oh, Mario didn't get the right angle that I wanted. Can I hold back and not bonk here? Okay, good, back up. Oh, I jinxed it immediately. Oh my god. Mario meltdown, man. It's okay, they happen. Gonna chuck this, what do you call it? Turnip, that's the word I was looking for, into the soup here. Gonna get a quick moon. I'm just gonna bonk into the soup right there, just to stall Mario in the air to grab the moon quickly. I'm gonna grab this moon on this pillar here, and I'm gonna roll straight ahead into this Pepto-Bismol area here. And I tilted the camera down there to manipulate this lava bubble cycle right here. I should be able to make this before it dumps back down. Yeah, there we go. Just had to manipulate that lava bubble cycle so I could capture it right after that moon there. That's what I was trying to do. And now we're in the Forks room. This room is entirely motion controls based. And I just dropped an input there. Gonna be doing a lot of upwards cap throws here, up throws, as they're called. And shaking the controller a lot to take advantage of these forks. If you shake the controller to exit a fork, you get more height. So that's what I was taking advantage of there. And I hit that corner there, and it killed my speed, which was not fun. Okay, now we're going to do a little jump here with the lava bubble, the Podobo. Take advantage of some of its weird mechanics here to kind of scale this wall weirdly. And just very quickly. Gonna climb this wall just like that. That's really hard. That might look easy to climb that wall like that, but you really have to take advantage of all of Cappy's height there. You have to get max height off everything. And then we're going to do another one of those instant captures right there to... Oh, really? Oh my god. Cappy! If you saw Cappy, he came like a literal pixel away from the lever on that first throw there. And then decided, nah, it wasn't worth it, so that's fun. But, yeah, doing one of those instant captures there by throwing Cappy on top of that. Pambros had to capture it with one cap throw. Now, actually, some loyal Odyssey speedrunner fans and runners might know that you could actually... You used to be able to skip this turnip moon here but in the version 1.0 of the game, but it's actually slower to use version 1.0 of the game now because of how fast loads are in this version. So, unfortunately, we cannot skip that turnip moon, or that lever moon there, the cheese moon. Stuttering on my words a little bit. We have to actually do it, but still a quick man. Gonna use some fancy movement to get behind over here and quickly get this mountain moon. And we're gonna land on some very tiny and specific geometry there to just barely make it get enough distance and height to make it over to this meat. And just like that, we are done with luncheon. And I'm going to say this is probably the easiest multi-moon in the game right here. Just cap bounce over some platforming, and just like that, you got a multi-moon. I was honestly shocked whenever I first played this game, and this moon right here was a multi-moon. I could not believe how easy it was to get this. Okay, now we're gonna go on to the auto-scroller that everyone loves. Ruined Kingdom. Everyone loves this kingdom. It's just a boss fight. That's all it is. Just like Cloud Kingdom, except this boss fight's boring and not really that fun. It looks cool, but the tech to kill the boss is really easy. It's a really easy boss. Okay, 113 out of 124 moons. So, Road to Kingdom, we just have to... I'll explain it once we get there, but there's going to be a big menacing dragon that we're going to fight. And unfortunately, there's not really too many ways to speed it up other than doing the intended strat as fast as you can. Which is never fun for video games. I hate whenever you're stuck at a speed. The game tells you how fast you can go. That's never fun. But we're just going to make our way up to this dragon boss fight, capture a wire to get there real quickly. After skipping some cutscenes here. Capture this wire. Very quickly get up to this boss fight. Look how fast Mario's going. And then we're going to start this boss fight. And that's the dragon we have to fight. His name is the Lord of the Lightning. And I'm going to open some hearts here just because I'm going to damage boost in this fight. I'm going to say hi to our good old pal Captain Toad here. No reason not to get that hint art. You can't not say hi to your pal, Captain Toad. And like I said, the intended strat is just to pull up these swords here in the dragon's head. So we're just going to do that as fast as we can. Pull up the swords and then ground pound his head. And as you see, I damage boosted there just to make sure I was up there in time real quickly. I'm going to do some fancy tech while I wait for this dragon to do its business here. Gonna do what's called a triple throw right there. Used to make trick jumps and stuff. Lots of downtime in this fight, as you can see, so I'm just gonna do fancy stuff. But once I'm on top of the dragon, it's speed time again. Oh, maybe not. What happened there was I did the spin pound too fast before the hitbox was ready to be ground pounded. Can you grab that, Mario, please? I'm gonna make sure to dodge all these things here and not take an unnecessary hit. Although it doesn't really matter, I have 3 health. Oh, I dropped the input there. Not a big deal, though. Cappy! I'm trying to shake the controller to home you in, not up throw. Not a big deal. Good enough, Ruined Kingdom. And just like that, we have 2 kingdoms left in the speedrun. That is it. Getting down to the nitty-gritty for sure. The grand finale. We got Bowser's Kingdom and Moon Kingdom left. Bowser's Kingdom is a longer one. I think it takes me usually like 8.5 minutes to complete. And then Moon takes me about 5.5. So we're getting there. We're almost there. Almost done with this any percent speedrun here. And it's looking like it's 106 pace, I think. 106, 107. If I play the last 2 kingdoms clean. Oh, Cappy! Speaking of playing clean. I tried to go for a spin throw right there, and he gave me an up throw instead, because that's how this video game be. Okay, skipping a bunch of cutscenes here. Now, unfortunately, with Bowser's Kingdom, we have figured out ways to skip a lot of the slow story moves, but the final boss fight, the Mecha Brutal boss fight, does not trigger unless you get all the story-related elements leading up to it, which is lame. So we have to do a bunch of slow stuff here. There's, I believe, 6 required moons to leave this kingdom. 4 story moons, and then 2, other quicker moons that we're going to get here. It doesn't show you in the top left there anymore, but I already know what I need to get, so I already know the number. We're going to go over here, do some quick movement to make my way up here. Oh, I thought that was going to bonk. That was a little bit scary. Ah, that failed that movement there a little bit. That's fine. Good backup, I'd say. Gonna quickly take care of that ogre there. Make quick work of him. And just like that, that's the first of 4 story moons we have to get. As you see, they're all kind of slow, but they're required. We can't finish. We literally cannot leave unless we do this. So, gotta do it. Now we have to do the second story moon here, the shards section. We're gonna collect 5 moon shards here to spawn 1 moon. These 5 star chips to make up 1 moon. That's kind of the gimmick. Okay, come on, moon shard. I tried to be fast there. Oh well, I tried to be a speedrunner. I tried to roll there, but the game dropped my shake input. Okay, this is whatever. It's working somewhat, I guess. Okay, I gotta break open this box here. So we can grab that last moon shard there. Am I gonna bonk into something here? What's my camera looking like? Okay, this'll work. And that is the second story moon here. We're gonna grab 1 quick moon off to the side here. Behind this wall. You can't see it, but I'm gonna do some fancy movement, and then you'll be able to see it in about 5 seconds here. I took damage there, so I had to wait for that health refill. Every time you take damage in this run, and then grab a moon, you have to wait for a health refill after the moon animation finishes. And there's the moon I was talking about. Okay, gonna capture this wire down here. Oh, I did that cap throw a little bit early there. And now we're gonna fight 2 bosses here. This is another one of those 2 bunnies. This time we're gonna fight Topper, which we've seen in Cap Kingdom earlier. Except it's a harder version. He has more hats. Oh no, whatever will I do? Same concept though, just bop the hat to end the phase quicker than knock the hats off him. I landed on the wrong one. Or I timed that just slightly wrong, but he's right here. So I can kind of bop him like that to speed up the phase anyway. And that's the first one. The second one we're going to fight here is Harriet. And this is a boss that we see for the first time typically in Sand Kingdom. But we didn't do World Peace in Sand Kingdom, so we didn't see Harriet. We didn't fight any of the Sand Kingdom bosses. Oh, really? I was too close to that bomb there. That's what happened. I was literally on top of it. No big deal. But the way you kill this boss, as you see, is just pop the bombs back into her. Just like that. Now I'm going to do a little minor optimization here. It might save me half a second if I'm quick. If you grab a checkpoint here where you refill your health, instead of me having to wait through another one of those health animations here, so I'll see if I can quickly grab this checkpoint without losing time. Okay. I'd say that worked a little bit. Okay, just about done. We need 1 more regular moon and then 1 more boss fight, and then we are done with Bowser's Kingdom. Okay, this movement right here is kind of scary, so I'm going to focus up. Because there's going to be some blind movement I have to do. But first, before that, we have to do this crate moon. Oh, did you see that? Mario rolled right past that moon there, and I almost ended the fight, but I reacted really well and bounced off Cappy instead. Okay, this is the blind jump I was talking about. Just like that. Nicely done. And I'm going to quickly capture this Pokio. Just like that. Do some quick Pokio movement to get around this ogre. And then quickly scale this wall. I'm shaking the controller after, or the fling with the Pokio. Just saving me a little bit of time over the regular flings. And there we are, we're at the top of the kingdom. And we're about to fight the Mecha Brutal boss. This is probably one of the hardest boss strats in the game, so I'm gonna definitely have to focus up, because the intended strat is to use a bird and knock bombs into it, and then poke all the enemies to death, but that's for casuals, that's slow. We don't have time for that over here in the Cheese Jam speedrun, so we're just gonna quickly climb up the mech, just like that. and do some fancy spin pounds to kind of just nail all these enemies, just like that. Nail all the Beardles. Just make quick work of this boss. Okay, and I'm going to stand in this spot right here. This is another minor optimization. It saves like 2 seconds. If I stand right by his ears, you see the mech is just ramming his head into the arena, the edge of the arena, rather than going to the center over and over, saving a little bit of time. The mech's going to do a rainbow spin here, and then I'm going to ground pound. That's my cue right after he does that little spin there. And just like that, mech's dead. Blink and you miss it type of boss for sure. It looks really cool though. That's definitely one of the coolest looking bosses in the run. Now, looking at this pace, this is going to be a 107 with a clean moon. Probably a mid 107, which I will definitely take on a no reset. About like 2.5 minutes off PB, so not too bad. I definitely made a lot of noticeable mistakes and lost time, but it happens. I think all things considered, for a no reset setting, I played pretty clean. At least as clean as I could. Probably just small stuff added up for the whole run. That's kind of how this category goes. Okay. Just gotta put the moons into the Odyssey now, and then we leave. And I think I said earlier we need 6 here. We actually need 8. I forgot that last moon there was a multi-moon. Gives us 3 instead of 1. Okay, final kingdom of the run. Just gotta bank these moons. And you're gonna notice here, Mario's gonna transform into his fancy wedding attire. Because you gotta be dressed up for the wedding. Can't come unprepared. We're gonna crash Bowser's wedding on the moon here. Just gotta sit through some cutscenes. And we're gonna kill Bowser once and for all. Totally. We'll never see him again in any other Mario games. Like I said earlier, there's the 124 required to beat the game. But we have to go through one more kingdom. The Moon Kingdom. Okay, skipping some cutscenes, and just like I said, look at that! Mario's all dressed up in his suit and tie, fancy top hat. And now, because we're on the moon, we have moon gravity, so Mario's gonna fly through this kingdom. You're gonna see Mario fly super high in the air. And I'm gonna take advantage of that and do what we call the bomb vectors here. To kind of make my way over this way. The bomb vectors! Okay, not the greatest. Typically, I don't want to have to cap bounce there, but that's fine. They're called the bomb vectors because there's a runner to bomb who's really good at them, so that's why we kind of dubbed them the bomb vectors. Oh, I tried to take advantage of Mario's moon gravity there to kind of make it over that ledge, but I timed it just slightly wrong, timed the roll just slightly wrong. And now this is the skip that saves the most time in the entire game. This skip saves like 5 minutes. Because you saw me bypass the moon cave right there, because I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do a ground pound jump. I'm going to bounce off Cappy midair. And I'm going to wall jump off a very specific part to kind of... Whoa, okay. Jump over here. And just like that, we skip the entire moon cave. Typically, there's a big cave you have to go through and fight one more boss before we get to Bowser. But we can skip it just by jumping off the Sphinx's head right there. And taking advantage of the moon gravity and wall jumping off some very specific spots. It's actually not that hard, too. That's definitely one of the skips I would recommend learning, like, day 1 for this game. It saves, like, 5 whole minutes, like, literally no joke. Saves a lot of time. Oh, I think I may have shook a bit early here. No, okay, we're good. And this boss is pretty much the same thing as Cloud Kingdom. I'm just gonna... There's just an extra phase thrown in here where Bowser spits out fire. But I'm gonna show you something cool. This fight, you can see I'm like literally jumping into the fire. I'm inside the fire, but I'm still not taking damage. That's because that phase right there, the fire hitbox isn't what it seems like. It's literally just a glorified floor scan. All the game is checking for is that you're not on the floor whenever the fire is there. Not that the fire itself has a hitbox. Gonna spin his tail around twice there, then I can bop him again. And if you can take a guess, he'll probably spin his tail 3 times on the final phase. Whoa. Advanced gameplay. I love that you can just jump without any tech or anything and make it over that. Looks so derpy. And I'm going to take damage here intentionally. Oh, I don't look where that hat is. Okay, we're good. And then get that fast hat strategy. Same thing as Cloud Kingdom earlier. 1, 2, 3. Oh, twist, there's one more. Whoa, we did it one more time. Plot twist. Now we're gonna roll over to Bowser here. The cave's gonna, or the moon's gonna explode. Because what else do we expect? And as a casual player, this is probably one of the coolest parts of the run. You get to capture and play as Bowser himself. And the moon is exploding. We gotta hurry. That's what Captain's saying in Chinese. We're going to take a very specific line here to save a little bit of time. You can see Bowser's foot's like half on the platform, but this is the optimal line. Gonna spam the Y button to break these rocks here because they're in my way. Gonna do a fancy little triple jump here to make it up to this part a little bit quicker. And then we're going to head over this way into this 2D section, and we're going to do a trick called 2D skip. So we're going to break these rocks right here. Break this one, and then we're going to jump here. Oh, and then jump like that, up that way. If I die there, I lose a minute, and that trick only saves 2 seconds, so it's pretty scary. Going to break that rock right there, just like that. And then we're going to jump up here, and just like that, we're done with that 2D section. There actually is a way to skip that 2D section, but it's really hard, and if you fail it, you die. And it only saves like 8 seconds, and it's literally the last 2 or 3 minutes of the run, so it's not really worth to go for, at least at my level. And here we are, the final screen of the game, the Pillars Room. We gotta shoot fireballs and claw these pillars down with Bowser in a very specific manner. Hopefully I can nail a lot of these fireballs here and do this room really quickly. Typically I'm okay at this room, we'll see. That'll do for that first one. I think I can get 3 fireballs out here. And then we can claw it twice. It takes 5 fireballs or 5 claws to break down these pillars each. Luckily that one's really easy. And here we go. Final one of the run. Final pillar. And one more. That should do. And just like that, we are done with this run. Time ends whenever I shoot a final wire here. I'm gonna get hit, I think. That's fine, whatever. Just gotta break open this moon rock there. And 3, 2, 1, time. 107.17 for Super Mario Odyssey any %. Thank you for watching. I think I did a pretty decent job explaining everything that we do there. I hope you enjoyed this run. And yeah, thank you for watching.